Hi there, this is TC Taylor and welcome to another tutorial. We're going to be doing this one in After Effects. I'm using After Effects CS5 and we're going to be just pulling a simple key. We're going to keep this kind of slow for people who've never pulled a key before. I know there's a lot of tutorials out there that do it and a lot of people move really fast through it and really don't explain what's going on, so we're going to take this one kind of slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull a key here. This was shot in a studio on a Canon 5D Mark II, shot in 1080p. Great cameras. If you've never used one, if you get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. They're wonderful cameras to shoot with. And once you figure out how to use them, they're pretty simple to use also. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our file and pull it down, which I already have, of course. And we're just going to go ahead and move on and go ahead and start keying this out. And this is a whole segment, as you can see here. We've got, probably 750 frames, but we're just going to work on this one section here and show you how to do a mask and, garbage mask and all that stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you notice, this green screen has got some damage on it here and here. This thing's been used pretty hard, obviously, and we got some wires hanging down in the frame here. So we're not going to worry about any of this stuff out here. So let's just go ahead and get rid of all this area outside, and let's just concentrate on what we're actually going to use for the shot. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our pen tool off the top, and we're just going to draw a mask around this guy, and it's pretty much just click and point all the way around. And then when you get to the end, we're going to close the path, and when you put the pen tool over the beginning part of the path, you'll see a little circle come up, and that means you're closing the path. Click that and it just takes care of everything on the outside. So now we just have to worry about what's inside here. So let's go ahead and pull the key. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to Effect. Make sure you do have your layer selected. Go up to Effect, Keying, Keylight. Now it automatically adds the effect right here to what we're working on. Or you can come over to Effects and Presets and you can type in Keylight here and just drag it over and it'll do the same exact thing. Okay, first thing we're going to do is obviously let's get rid of our green. We're going to go up to here to where it says Screen Color. We're going to click the color picker and we're just going to click and remove the green. It's that simple. Now that's actually a pretty good key right there off the start. But if you look here, you'll notice we have some transparency. A little bit here on his arm, a little bit here on his legs. And let's go ahead and get rid of that transparency. Now what we need to do next, right here where it says View, we have our final result, which is, well, exactly what it is, our final result. Click Final Result and let's go down to Screen Matte. And what we're looking to do here is all we want is blacks and whites. We don't want any grays. And how we're going to get rid of this, if you come back to the left side, you'll see where it says Screen Matte. Click the triangle to open up the menu. And you'll see Clip Black and Clip White. And that's what we're going to use to get rid of all this gray. So let's clip the black, put your mouse over it, and we're going to roll it up. And we're going to try to eat up as much of this gray as we can. So click and hold, and slowly drag to the right. And as you can see, the black's starting to go away pretty good. And as soon as you see where the black's pretty much gone, stop there. And let's go ahead and start working on the white now to get rid of all this gray. Right below it's Clip White, and instead of scrolling up to the right, now we're going to scroll down to the left. Click and hold, start moving slowly to the left, and you'll see it start to get whiter and whiter. And keep doing it till the gray is pretty much gone. There we go. That's pretty good. Now we have some down here, but we'll deal with that in a minute. As you can see, as we roll our white back, we start to have a little gray come back in here. Now we can either, before we do anything, let's take a look at this real quick. Let's go back up to Screen Matte. Let's go back to our final result. That's actually pretty good. We could probably work with that right there. Now if you look at this, you can tell we have a little bit of a hard edge, and that happens a lot of time when you're pulling keys. And there's also an easy way to rectify this problem. There's a couple of ways we can do this. You can either go into Keylight, and you can go here to this menu where it says Shrink and Grow, Screen Shrink and Grow. And right here, if you put in -1, hit enter, and it shrinks our matte a little bit and gets rid of that hard edge. So that really cleans up those rough, hard lines. The other way we can do this, take that back to 0, is if you go back up to Effects, go down to Matte, and go to Simple Choker. And basically, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to choke the mat. Right here on choke the mat, click that, type in -1. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going the other way this time. Type in 1. And it shrinks the mat down. And it's the same effect as doing the screen shrink and grow. It's the same effect, you just do it opposite. Let's take this back to 0 because we're going to stay inside of Keylight. Let's delete the simple choker. Go back to shrink, grow, and type in -1. Same exact effect. Now there's another thing you can do also if you're using CS5. They've added a new effect. I'm pretty sure it's new for CS5. If you go back down and you go to matte, they've added the refine matte. And this is pretty nice because this adds a real nice motion blur and really softens the edge of everything up. And also you can smooth the matte, you can put a feather on it. And the motion blur right here, this is really a nice tool to have on here. Really cleans up your edges a bit. But one thing you have to remember is anytime you add motion blur to any scene, it really kills your render time. So if you can get by without it, it's best not to use it. So I'm going to delete that back out. So here we have our guy here, and we've got a pretty good key pulled on him. We got pretty clean edges. So let's just take a look at what we got. Let's go back to our project and tell you what. Let's put so he's not walking into space. Let's go ahead and drop in a JPEG here, picture. Let's scroll through here and we'll find, there we go. Now that seems like a pretty good floor. Let's make him walking onto something so he's just not walking into oblivion. So let's take this and I'm going to increase the scale of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the corner, hold shift, and go ahead and drag that up a little bit. All right, and tell you what, let's make this 3D. And let's go to rotation. And on our X rotation, let's flip that down a little bit. And we'll take it to about 75. That's pretty good. Now let's pull it down under his feet. And as you can see here, we're going to have to increase the size a little more to get it all the way over the edges. So we'll click the corner, hit shift, scale that up a little bit more. There we go. Now he's got something he's walking on. And tell you what, let's stick a wall back here also. So we'll grab a picture of this wall, stick it in. It's also just a JPEG. Since we're only working with one frame, it'll be okay. And let's stick that in. Grab the corner, click and hold shift, scale it up. There we go. Now we can move this one here down. Let's go ahead and close this. We can move our concrete image down a little bit so it doesn't look like he's walking through the concrete. We can move that down and, put a wall back here. Maybe he's going to go rock crawling or something. Now, luckily in this was a pretty good key we had here, so we didn't have a lot of spillover, and that's where the green from the light actually bleeds onto the subject. Luckily, we really didn't have to deal with any of that, and luckily we didn't get any right there on that bald spot, because they have a tendency to show light pretty bad. So we didn't have to key that out and put a hole in his head. So you can see here we got a pretty good key. We got a nice soft edge on it. And we'll just move it a frame. Let it recalculate. Yeah, we got a pretty good key here. Okay, we changed colors. That's pretty nice. And that's pretty much it for pulling a key. It's really not that complicated. Sometimes you just got to work the parameters a little more to get a really good key. And it's pretty simple. And like I said, if you use the choke mat or the screen shrink or grow, really takes those hard edges off of it. And that's it. Please visit our website, www.battleground-media, and it's a dash, not the word dash, -media.com. We have tutorials up there, and we'll constantly be adding new tutorials. We'll be doing tutorials on After Effects, Final Cut. There'll be a lot of video tutorials that will go up as we continue to shoot and stuff. So check back there or check our YouTube channel. And thanks a lot for watching.